everyone. Before we get into this week's deck video, I just want to give a shout out to Mad Merchant for helping us host our first tournament in the Unleashed set. It's a 4K tournament. It's going to be May 16th at 10 a.m. It's 128 player capacity, and it's going to be a fun time. There's going to be raffles. There's going to be a pack on entry now. We listened to our community, and we're going to give everyone a pack on entry. So if you're interested in coming down and seeing us and meeting the Haven team, you can. All the details will be in the link in the description below. And without further ado, let's jump straight into the video. What is up, Riftbound players? Welcome back to GG Haven. Today we are stepping out of the shadows and into the hunt to master the most aggressive predator in the Unleashed set, Rengar, Pridestalker. This champion guide is all about raw, unadulterated pressure and showing you how to turn every unit drop into a lethal stat boost. We are going to break down the entire pool of cards that turn Rengar into a snowballing nightmare, explaining the high-level synergies between new keywords and existing powerhouses before showcasing two different ways to build the ultimate hunter. Before we dive into the cards, we have to talk about a new keyword in the Unleashed set, Ambushed. This keyword allows you to play a unit as a reaction, meaning you can drop it onto the board during your opponent's turn or mid-combat. However, the golden rule is that you can only use ambush onto a battlefield where you already have units present. It's a tool for reinforcement and surprise, not for appearing out of thin air. Unless you're Rengar. First, let's start with the legend himself, Rengar Pridestalker. This legend is the heartbeat of your aggression, providing a +1 might buff to a unit every single time you play a card from your hand. It effectively turns your swarm into a series of scaling threats that force the opponent into impossible blocking situations. Because this triggers on a unit play, you can strategically stack buffs on a single attacker to hit those crucial mighty thresholds for free. Next, we'll move on to the champion units. First, we have Rengar Trophy Hunter. This version of the legend is the master of the ambush keyword. While the general rule for ambush requires to have units at the target battlefield, Trophy Hunter specifically allows you to jump into a fight where there are enemy units present, even if you have zero presence there yourself. This makes him an incredible gotcha piece that can instantly turn an empty battlefield into a lost combat for your opponent. Next, we have Rengar Unseen. This variant is a high mobility finisher that utilizes Accelerate to hit the board and ready and immediately start hunting, with Assault 2 giving him a might boost while attacking and Deflect protecting him from cheap spells. He is incredibly difficult to stop once he starts moving. His ganking ability allows him to hop between battlefields, ensuring he is always where the opponent is weakest. And finally, we have Rengar Pouncing. This champion operates as a high threat reaction piece that can be played to a battlefield you are already attacking. With Assault 2 providing extra might during the strike, he acts as the perfect extra reach to finish off a battlefield or a massive defender. He excels at punishing opponents who think they have successfully mathed out your attack phase. Now we'll move on to his signature spell, Thrill of the Hunt. This signature spell provides incredible tactical flexibility by allowing you to banish a friendly unit and immediately replay it to any battlefield for 0 cost. You can use this as a reaction to dodge a removal spell or to suddenly move a massive threat into an undefended battlefield. It also triggers Rengar's legend ability again when the unit is played back down, effectively double dipping on your might buffs. Now we'll move on to the battlefields that make this deck one. First, we have Arena's Greatest. This battlefield creates urgency by gaining both your opponent and yourself an additional point during the beginning phase, I should add. In a deck as fast as Rengar, this passive scoring forces the opponent to play into your hands by rushing out defenders. It ensures the game reaches the showdown phase quickly which is exactly where Rengar thrives. Sunken Temple. This location is your primary draw engine, rewarding you for attacking with high might units. When you conquer here with a mighty unit, you can pay 1 rune to draw a card and keep your hand full of more threats. It synergizes perfectly with Rengar's passive buffs, ensuring that your aggression is constantly self-sustaining. Next, we have Forbidding Waste. This battlefield is a nightmare for lone defenders, as they suffer a -2 might penalty if no other friendly units are assisting them. It forces the opponent to commit multiple bodies to the battlefield, which then leaves them vulnerable to your board-wide buffs. It is a fantastic tool for breaking through tall defenses with your wide swarm. Emperor's Dais. This battlefield provides a unique way to recycle your Entrance effects while populating the board with tokens. When you conquer here, you can pay 1 rune to return a unit to your hand and replace it with a 2 might Sand Soldier, allowing you to replay units like Pit Rookie to trigger Rengar's legend buff again. This creates a loop of value that keeps your might totals skyrocketing. Next up, we have Treasure Hoard. This battlefield is your primary source of economic scaling in the mid-range build. When you conquer here, you can pay 1 rune to play an exhausted gear token, providing extra resources for later turns. This extra mana is vital for paying for high-cost combat tricks or multiple ambush units in a single phase. And finally, we have Star Spring. This battlefield offers board manipulation by allowing you to move a unit back to its base for free. The first time a player drops a non-token unit here, they can move another friendly unit to safety. It is a fantastic tool for rescuing a damaged champion or repositioning a ganking unit for a future strike. Now, we'll move on to the hunting party that support Rengar. First champion we have is Darius Trifarian. Darius is your ultimate finisher, gaining +2 might and readying himself whenever you play your second card in a turn. This rewards the multi-unit sequences that Rengar's naturally encourages through his legend ability. He represents a massive repeating threat that can easily take down a base or a massive defender in a single turn. Also note that if Darius is your second card played, he sees himself as a second card and readies himself. Next up, we have Nidalee Catform. This champion utilizes ambush to jump into combat and provides essential card draw when she survives the fight. Her ability to draw a card upon winning combat ensures that you don't run out of steam while maintaining a high pressure board. She is the perfect bridge between your early game aggression and your late game finishers. Next up, we have Kai'Sa Survivor. Kai'Sa uses Accelerate to enter the board ready and immediately starts cycling through your deck. Whenever she successfully conquers a battlefield, she draws you a card to keep your hand full of combat tricks. She is a high tempo threat that forces the opponent to answer her before she generates too much value. And the final unit we have is Akshan Mischievous. Akshan is your premier tool for disrupting gear-heavy strategies. By paying the additional body cost through the Weapon Master keyword, he allows you to steal an enemy gear and attach it to himself, turning their investment into your advantage. He effectively silences an opponent's high-value equipment while providing a solid body for Rengar's might buff. Now we'll move on to the units. First up, Pit Rookie. One of the most efficient units in the deck, providing an immediate might buff to another friendly unit upon play. When you combine this with Rengar's legend ability, a single Pit Rookie play actually provides a +2 might to any unit that's on your board. It is a perfect starter for any aggressive turn to push your attackers into that mighty range. Next up, Laurent Bladekeeper. This unit provides essential mobility through the ganking keyword, allowing you to move between battlefields to support where needed. Because it can reposition easily, it ensures you always have a target for Rengar's legend buff in the most relevant battlefield. It is a reliable, versatile body that keeps your opponent guessing where the next strike is coming from. Next, we have Inferna. This unit uses ambush to jump into an attack and gains a significant assault 2 boost while attacking. She is the perfect surprise attacker to drop when an opponent leaves a battlefield undefended. Her high offensive potential makes her a very efficient trade-up piece for her relatively low cost. Grim Apothecary. This unit utilizes the ambush keyword again and allows you to return a friendly unit to its owner's hand when played. You can use this to dodge removal or to re-trigger high impact when played units to activate Rengar's legend ability again. It turns your board into a recurring resource that the opponent can never truly pin down. Next up, Noxus Hopeful. Utilizing the Legion mechanic, this unit costs 2 less if you have already played another card this turn. This makes it the perfect follow-up piece for your multi-unit combo turns where you are trying to flood the board. It allows you to maintain incredible tempo without draining your entire rune pool. Irresistible Feyfolk. This unit offers a unique board control by pulling an enemy unit into its current battlefield whenever it moves. You can use this to drag a squishy engine piece or a backline unit into a fight with your buffed Rengar units. It disrupts your opponent's formation and forces them to engage on your terms. Next, Furious Forerunner. This unit serves as a high-value defensive piece that triggers Death Knell upon death, playing 2 3-might mech tokens to your base for protection. It ensures that even after a successful enemy trade, you still maintain a strong presence at your base. This sticky board presence is vital for outlasting aggressive decks and protecting your scoring potential. And finally, we have Brynhir Thundersong. This is the ultimate silence card for closing out a game when you have the advantage. When played, she prevents your opponent from playing any cards for the rest of the turn, ensuring your lethal push goes through. She is the perfect answer to decks that rely on reaction spells or combat tricks to survive a showdown. Next, we'll move on to the seals, gears, and equipment. The only thing we run in one of the variations of the Rengar deck is Seal of Strength. This is your primary resource ramp tool, allowing you to tap for a body resource as a reaction that can't be reacted to by the opponent. This extra energy is vital for paying for Akshan's additional costs or for spamming multiple combat tricks in a single turn. Now we'll move on to the spells of our deck. The first spell we have is Cleave, an action spell that grants a unit Assault 3, giving them +3 might specifically while they are an attacker. The power spike frequently pushes your units past the point where the opponent can effectively block or trade. It is simple, high impact tool for securing a conquest or base strike. Next up, Falling Star. This spell provides efficient double targeted removal by dealing 3 damage to 2 different units simultaneously. It allows you to thin out your opponent's board while you set up your finishers. It is a versatile tool for maintaining board parity without needing to commit your units to combat. Sabotage. This spell offers essential hand disruption by forcing an opponent to reveal their hand and recycling a non-unit card. You can use this to strip away a board wipe or a high-cost combat trick before the opponent can use it. It gives you a clear window to push for a win while gaining valuable information. Blood Rush. An action with repeat that grants a unit Assault 2, allowing you to stack might for every extra energy you spend. Hey guys, Future Squeegee here. Just want to emphasize that you can only pay the repeat cost once, something I completely overlooked. But yeah, back to the video. By paying the extra repeat effect, you can turn a tiny unit into a base-shattering threat. It is a fantastic mana sink for your late game gold tokens and resources. Punch First. This is your premier gotcha spell, providing a massive +5 might for a single turn as an action. It can be used to win a trade against a massive champion or to push for a sudden unexpected victory. It is the ultimate punishment for an opponent who leaves their base or battlefield undefended. Repulse. A reaction that counters an enemy spell or ability, choosing a single friendly unit. It is a fantastic way to protect Rengar or Darius from spot removal while maintaining your board pressure. This ensures your high value engine pieces stay on the board to continuously generate value. Challenge. An action that forces a friendly unit and an enemy unit to deal damage to each other equal to their mights. You can use this to pick off a squishy backline unit or a high value engine piece before it can generate even more value. It is a proactive way to interact with the opponent's board on your own terms. Thermal Beam, an action that kills all gear on the board in one massive blast. It effectively wipes out the opponent's investment into equipment and buffs. It is a vital tool for ensuring you don't get outscaled by decks relying on Voltron strategies. Unyielding Spirit, a reaction that prevents all spell and ability damage for the turn. It ensures your wide board survives even the most devastating enemy interactions, such as board wipes. It is a mandatory piece for aggressive builds that are vulnerable to being wiped out by high cost spells. Now that we've covered all the cards that work well with Rengar, I'm going to cover two combos that I think can change the way the game is going. The first combo, we have the triple buff Alpha Strike. Play Pit Rookie as your first card. Use its entry effect to buff Darius. Rengar's legend ability triggers, grants Darius another +1 might buff. Play a second card to trigger Darius's passive, giving him +2 might and readying him for a second attack. You have just given Darius a total of +4 might and readied him for a second strike for the cost of 1 small unit. Combo 2. Rengar Trophy Hunter into an enemy lane as a reaction. On your next window, use Grim Apothecary to return Rengar to your hand. You now have Rengar back in hand to trigger another surprise ambush or legend buff on a future turn, keeping the opponent constantly on edge. Now that we covered the two combos, I'm going to go through the two deck variants that I have for Rengar. The first deck variant is Aggro. This variant is all about raw speed, utilizing Darius and high impact spells like Cleave and Punch First to end games before the opponent can set up. It has incredible early pressure and explosive finishers that can take down a base in one turn. However, you can run out of resources if the initial swarm is cleared or if the game goes on for too long. The next deck I have is the mid-range deck. This build is slightly slower, relying on Akshan to steal enemy gear and Treasure Hoard to build a resource advantage over time. Highly sustainable and excellent interaction against gear-based decks. However, it takes longer to reach lethal thresholds compared to pure aggro, making it vulnerable to other aggro decks. Rengar is all about total board manipulation. Stay aggressive, stay unpredictable, and stay on the hunt. For more unleashed deck tech, you're already in the right place here at GG Haven. Smash that like button if you're going to take one of these decks to a local Nexus Nights. And make sure you're subscribed so you never miss out on future deck tech videos. Let me know in the comments what Predator you want to see next. Thanks for stopping by. Until next time, good luck on the hunt.